The picnic was already loud when I arrived. Paper plates bent under food. Someone's speaker hummed a song nobody was really listening to. Children ran between chairs like loose thoughts. I stood there for a moment with the casserole warming my palms, measuring where to place myself. That was always the calculation, where I fit without being asked to explain why. I had wired the money 3 weeks earlier. Not a symbolic amount, enough to matter, enough to make my brother's dream shop real instead of theoretical. He hadn't announced it yet. He wanted the reveal to feel triumphant. I understood that. I'd always understood when he needed to be seen. When he saw me, he raised his chin in that way he's had since childhood. The way that meant he was about to perform. I smiled first. Old habit. We ate. We talked about weather, about rising prices, about someone's engagement. I noticed how often my aunt's eyes drifted toward me and then away, as if looking too long might invite a question no one wanted to ask. Modeling still made people uneasy. It was acceptable, but only if no one lingered on it. The moment came casually. That was the part that hurt more than if it had been sharp. My cousin asked what everyone was proud of this year. It was meant to be light, one of those forced prompts that die quickly. My brother leaned back, arms wide, already smirking. "What do you have to be proud of?" he said, looking straight at me. "You just show off your body to make a living." There was a half-second of silence. Then laughter. Not cruel laughter. Worse. Comfortable laughter. The kind that assumes everyone understands the joke and their place inside it. Someone said, "Oh, stop. He's teasing." Someone else said, "Well, he's not wrong." I felt the heat climb my neck, but my face stayed still. I noticed the ants crawling toward the cooler. I noticed the way the wind lifted the corner of a napkin and dropped it again. My body had learned long ago how to go quiet before my mind caught up. I looked at him. He was still smiling, waiting for me to play along, waiting for absolution disguised as charm. "You're right," I said. The laughter stalled, confused. "But I can make your dream disappear." I didn't raise my voice. I didn't explain. I just nodded once, as if agreeing with something already decided, and walked toward the edge of the park where my bag rested against a tree. No one followed me. That surprised me less than it should have. That night, alone, the sentence replayed in my head, not as mine. I wasn't proud of how it sounded. It wasn't elegant. It wasn't elegant. But it was honest in a way I'd avoided for years. I had given because giving kept me included. Because money could smooth over the awkwardness of my work, my independence, my refusal to apologize for a body that paid my bills. I told myself I invested because I believed in him. That was true. But I also believed it would buy me silence, or respect, or at least restraint. The next week, I didn't answer his calls right away. I didn't rush to reassure. When he texted jokes, I replied with thumbs up. When he asked if everything was okay, I said yes. It was, in a way he hadn't learned to recognize. The paperwork had always been clear. I was an investor, not a gift giver. The shop wasn't open yet. No leases signed beyond intent. No inventory ordered without my approval. All very boring. All very real. I met with my lawyer on a Tuesday afternoon that smelled like rain. She didn't ask why. She just laid out options, withdrawal timelines, impact summaries, consequences without drama. When my brother finally realized something had shifted, it was because an email arrived from a neutral address. No emotion. Just information. Funding paused pending review. He showed up at my apartment unannounced. He looked smaller without an audience. "You were joking," he said first. Then, softer, "You know I was joking." "I know," I said. "So why are you doing this?" I searched for the right explanation and found that I no longer needed one. "Because I don't want to be generous where I'm not respected." He laughed once sharp. "You're really going to punish me over a joke?" I shook my head. "I'm not punishing you. I'm opting out." He left angry. He left confused. He left calling me dramatic. The family called next. Carefully. As if volume might decide who was right. They talked about overreaction. About intent. About how hard it is to start a business. No one talked about the picnic itself. No one repeated his words out loud. The authority moment came quietly. A formal notice. Dates. Signatures. My name typed cleanly at the bottom. The shop did not collapse overnight. That would have been easier. Instead, it stalled. Plans delayed. Confidence shaken. Reality intruded. At another gathering months later, my brother avoided my eyes. When he spoke to me, it was polite, stripped of humor. The family treated me differently too, not warmly, not coldly. Carefully, as if they had learned a new rule but hadn't yet decided whether it was fair. I didn't feel victorious. I felt steadier, like I'd finally stopped leaning forward, waiting for someone else to decide what I was worth. Sometimes, late at night, I wondered if I'd chosen the hardest version of self, respect. It would have been easier to laugh, easier to keep funding dreams that cost me small pieces of myself. But when I thought of that picnic, the sunlight, the joke, the way everyone relaxed at my expense, I knew something irreversible had happened. Not to them. To me. I was no longer available for that role. And that, quietly, was enough.